Hello, good evening and happy Sunday. Welcome back. Sorry I've been missing in action. I've actually been away right up the top of the country in Scotland for a week. So it's been really nice, really relaxing, and much as I thought I might try and go live, it didn't happen. So apologies for that, but hey, I'm now back here. And I think everything should be tickety-boo, should be all be lined up. So we'll just wait for some more just to pop in to see us. And what I'm going to do today, I've had a class today. I arrived back last night and then today I had a class. So quite not rushed, but yeah, it was just nice to see everybody. I'm just trying to get this back into screen. And that's the main one. Put that one in the corner. There we go. I'm ready to go. Okie doke. So, here we go. I'm going to be using these two stamp sets. The class I've had today, we've done a beautiful box frame using these two stamp sets, and the ladies thoroughly enjoyed it. And many of them doing their first home decor piece of artwork, which was really nice to see. So there's some hidden little gems in here. When I was preparing my sample, I found some gems, some dies that sometimes would get overlooked a little bit. So I think I've got them all back in the right places. So this is the Country Flowers one. And as with these stamp sets, hi Sandra, there's a lot of dies in here that haven't got the coordinating stamps. So there's a lot of pieces in here. You think there's a lot of flowers in there. What are we going to do with all those flowers? And the greenery as well. And then with this one, we've got a lot in here that, sorry, some bits in that one. I've just spread mine out over two pieces here, so it looks a bit more than about gaps there. I thought I'd got ones missing. But anyway, these ones here down the bottom, these are just these flowers. I want to just go through the differences and how we use them today, really. Hi, Anne, nice to see you. Good morning. Evening, hand pink waving. Hand pink waving. There you go. Anyway, so that's basically what I'm going to play with today, because I use them on my sample. I might flash up a little bit of sneak peek in the corner there, but I just wanted you to see some pieces that you might not look at in the stamp sets and dies. So where shall I start? I'm going to do some note cards. So I have my trusted pack of note cards here, and I'm going to use some of the pieces I've done on panels. Oh, I've even got some embossed there. Look, that saves a little bit of time. Look, we've got some of those cut, but this is actually for my note cards and envelopes. So I'll take a few of those out. Take two or three of those maybe. We'll see how we go. So Lynn, hey, don't give the game away. Lynn's been here today with me. So I'm just going to crease these. So yes, I'm going to be looking at the Country Woods Designer Series paper is what we had in the class today. And then we had the those two stamp sets and dies, as I said. So once these are scored, if we'd have had time, we'd have made up some cards this afternoon, but it was just nicely paced. It was really good to see everybody. So there's my 3 note cards. So I'm going to get just grab this through just a sec. So I've got my little mat and the papers from here. I have got a lot of scraps. Now you know that I love my scraps. So I've got bits in here, bitty bits, but I'm just going to use some in the panels as I've done on my pieces here. So I'm going to start with I've not necessarily got all the papers left in here. Just dig one out. That's the one I'm after. There we go. We're going to use a piece of this one to start with. And I'm going to cut a little panel for the front of the card. So I'm just going to take a strip off here. Now we know that our note cards are 3.5 by 5. So 3.5, just going to check that on there. You can always make sure. 3.5. So I'm going to come along here at 3.25. Take a little panel down. Like so. It's a shame to cut into new whole sheets. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And then 1/4 inch off here, that's 4 3/4. So I don't know which way these are going to go at the moment. Hi Angela, we missed you today, but your kit's here when you're ready to pop over and have a play session with me. So I'm going to use that on there like that. Pretty basic cards, but I'm just going to want to use up some of the pieces that you might not have seen or might not be using. So that's going to be for one of them. What else shall we do? I like that other wood one there. So let's do another. I might change these about, but for now I'm just going to cut whole panels. Put it in there. Going through all my bag of bits. Who else has a Ziploc bag in their packet, just ready for any pieces that are left over? I've tended to do that a lot now with the papers as we get them. So I know which one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the really distressed wood. Sorry to waste your time. I'm literally running through here. If not, that one might do. Oh, we had all of these out today and now I can't find the one I'm after. I think it's that one. So do the same with that maybe. Do a couple and then you can see the sort of things that we were playing with. So 3 1/4 and 4 3/4. Okay, so simple cards, like I say, just to get you using some of the dies a little bit differently. So we think about the country floors, we think about the main pieces that are in there. So we have these beautiful images here. The birdhouse is the key component piece in here. But I've also done some things with this tiny little flower all on its own. So that we'll use that one tonight. And we'll also use some of these dies and some of the greenery in the other one. So I think we're going to start off with this greenery. Okay. So this is in the country florals one. So this is just a piece of greenery really. Now I have a couple of pieces here. I've got in old olive and I've got in mossy meadow. Now when you do things like this, you've got a couple of pieces there. You think, well, yeah, I could use those, but I wanted to show you how you can do more with it. I have a piece of scrap paper here somewhere. So we don't need the die out now because I've already cut them just to save a bit of time. So I take my daubers, my sponge daubers. This one looks a strange colour on the top, but that is actually old olive and mossy meadow. So they're the two I've got. So if we take the corresponding ink pads, okay, and I'm just going to take this one in here, old olive, just tap it on there. So if we look at this piece of paper here, you notice I haven't got the glass mat today. I'm just using it on here because I think it will reflect a bit more. So if I put some of this on, this is just sponge dauber onto the old olive, onto old olive. So it's putting the same colour onto the same colour. And if we just work a little bit of this in, you'll start to see how half of it can be changed. I hope the camera's, oh, let me zoom in. You need to be closer to me, don't you? Let me bring this in like so and work on a smaller area. Can you see how this part is darker than this part? Okay, that's because I've just got the old olive and I'm just working that through some of these pieces here. It also kind of enhances the line down the middle of the leaves a little bit more. So I'm going to continue and do the rest of this one. Okay, just quite simply, it's just putting a thimble on your finger and just working a little bit of that in randomly. It is randomly. Nature is not perfect and the edges are lighter than the middles. That's that one done. I'm going to shut that for a minute and just grab the, let me come back to that, the mossy meadow. You can see how dark the mossy meadow one is. So I'm just going to do the same on here. So you've got cardstock, and if you start working this in to some of that, you can see how dark that can actually get just with, and it's not re-inked, it's just as it is. Okay, so I'm just going to rub some of that on there. So you can add texture and add colour. So I've got another one here that is this one, but just a little bit, not quite so much on there. And then this is what we started off with. We started off with that one. So those three have gone down that route. So it's gone from that to those two, and this one has gone from this to this. So it's not quite so different, but I think you can see enough to see that this one here is darker. Okay, so that's just one little texture and just adding a little bits of something different. So I'll get those two out of the way. So that's those two. Now we're going to go on to the flowers. Now the flowers I showed you earlier, there's a lot of flowers in these two sets. So in here we have these ones here, we have a large one, a small one. We have leaves, individual leaves. These ones actually die cut as 2 singles and a pair, and 2 singles and a pair. So they're the same. You've got a little ring here with a little gap in it, and you've got all of these ones. Now I love to cut pieces and then put them in a tray and play with them. Okay, and then we go over to these ones. These are the country birdhouse ones. There's no stamp to correspond with them, but these ones here are absolutely gorgeous. These, I want to show you them cut, so I'm going to just take some of those. grab a piece. Oh, did I put my... I've been super efficient and put away my scraps. So, yeah, that's not going to help, is it? It makes a change for me. I'm going to get this out. And I just want you to see them cut. So let's see what I've got here. Got a little piece there. I'm not going to do all of them because I have got some pre-cut for you. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to put these ones on there. Now these have got the little cuts on them. So they are making decorative pieces all on their lonesome without any other input. So I'm going to just cut these for you so you can see. Oh, I am quite close, aren't I? So I'm going to put these onto the next plate down and run these through. Very close. Take those through. That's one side. So on here I have these dies. So I'm just going to lift those off. I have looked at these. I have put them through with one of them through with some wax paper earlier, and that really helped because they do cling to the paper. My tool to somebody opposite me today. So I've just got a spatula here that I use, a letter opener or a spatula, just to loosen those off my plate. And then we should have 5 of these, just to getting themselves stuck into the die a little bit. So this one could do with some more wax paper on it. So I'm going to put those ones back because I've got some in different colours. I just wanted to show you what they're going to look like. Get those out of the way. So put that away. These ones here, if I lay them on the piece of paper, hopefully you're going to see the detail on these. If I bring those up to the camera, can you see how detailed they are in there? They actually die cut with all those little cuts and lights, so you can actually 3D those a little bit and give them some detail. Okay, so they're really, really cute. So I'm going to pop those back in the tray here. So we're going to use those on a card. I can get them out of the tray easier. So I'm going to pop this down on the pad just quickly. Like I say, this was just some of the panels that I've done on my box frame. I will give you a quick glimpse of some of the corners just to show you some of the panels. If I do it in close-up, it won't give the game away for everybody, as Angela's got the class to do. So that's the flowers, just cut some there. And then we also have, get those out, and that one out. I've done those in the colours that are in the papers. Now you saw me flicking through those papers earlier. So our Stampin' Up design team, they have such great designs. The colours that they input in are then the ones that are listed on the back of the cover sheet on the back here. So I've based my class round having these colours, and so we've got some of the Calypso Coral, we've got the Pool Party, and then we've got the Petal Pink. We've got some images already cut. Now, then we have these leaves I was talking to you earlier. You have the collective ones, these ones. Then you have the singles and the doubles. And I did find a way to use those. These ones here are from our punch, which is I can't remember the official name for it, but it's the 2 leaves here. Okay, and I've used this little one because I see that as being a little stem. These ones don't work, but this one works really well. And of course we know that the punches are super quick and easy to use. So if I take some of those stems, and we've got an assortment here of different greens. So I've got a couple of those and a dark one for the middle maybe. And then I've got some of the flowers. Now I think I'm just going to do this really, really simply on here. I don't know what greeting I shall choose yet. What should we have? Hello Friend is a really good one. So I think I might go with that one. Yes, I think we'll go with that one. Hello Friend. Dig that one out and we'll pop that on a block. Hello Friend is at the top. There we go. And I've got blocks coming out of my eyes here. There, so that's ready to go. So I'll put that on a little plaque underneath there. So I'm going to stick these down. I have my tweezers to hand. I have my Tombow. Now, when he's doing something like this, I normally start in the centre. I'm going to start them all facing the same way. So just going to put some dots of the Tombow on the back here. So So hopefully you can see me. I'm just putting that on and wiping it off. Okay, now I'm going to come on to another stem in another die set shortly. Put these up the top third of the card. So one there. One that, just down. So just next door to each other in a nice little straight line. And that's coming that way as well. So like so, there. There we go. So three little maids from school. If you're into Gilbert and Sullivan, three little flowers. Okay, so now I'm going to use these the dies that we've been cutting here. So I'm going to choose to do the big ones today on these. So I've got one of each of those three colours. Any particular order. I'm going to just pop this into the centre of my hand, and I'm just going to use my knuckle just to give it a little bit of dimension to it, and that's going to cover the top leaf really on here, but I'm making it look like a stem. In fact, I think I might do them like so. Keep the oranges apart, and then pop the blue one in the centre. So like I say, sometimes you get to dies that are kind of like overlooked in a stamp set. I'm going to come on to show you another stamp set, a die set as well. So I'm going to put some Tombow in the centre of that base. Okay, and then that's going to stick on here. Now, when I use my Tombow lid and I just press that into there, I'm keeping the shape there without flattening it. My fingers are too big, but the dome on the top there is quite handy. Okay, so I'm just going to use that in there and some Tombow on that one. Hold it in place, lid of the Tombow. You can stagger those actually so they don't touch each other. And then the last one, the Calypso Coral. Watching from Southeast India. Oh, lovely to see you. Indiana, sorry. My eyes in a small screen. Okay, so there are my three little flowers, and they just make such a nice, easy little card there. You're mega late, so you're fine. Never late. There's always replay, so please don't worry about that. So I have my mat. What's left on my mat? Under here. And I'm going to just take, I do need to just get up because I have got to get the scraps that I put away for my sentiments, and another product I need to show you. Just a sec. Makes a difference for me to clear everything away before I've used them. So never mind. So just got all of those out. So these are my scraps. I'm just going to stamp the sentiment, and then we'll do choose another card to make. So this is a very thin sentiment, I think. No, see how that one goes. Over there, out of the way. So that's this one. So I'm going to take the Memento ink pad just to stamp this one in black. We've got some greys and blacks going on in here, so I'm going to pop that there. Okay, it's a nice delicate little stamp, and it's the sort of card that you could just make just to pop a little note card in the post to somebody. Now I think I don't want this too overpowering. I don't really want it big and banner, so I think I'm going to fussy cut around that one. And I have glasses somewhere. Oh, she says. I think I took my glasses off in the other room. Well, couldn't be my lives without having something there. Never mind. I'm going to just quickly whiz around this. Your eyes are better than mine today, so let's just see how this is going to go. I have a twirly stand with all my tools in, and it's very handy. My glasses always hang off the end, but I was wearing them when I went and had my dinner. So, hey, They're in the lounge. So I'm just working my way around here. Snip that off and get that out of the way so it's not overhanging. And then just going to come around to the bottom there and just come back up the other side. As I say, the scissors do the work, so I'm just holding it still and twizzling the paper. So just come around the bottom of that friend. Okay. And around the bottom there with no glasses, so hey, I hope this is looking okay. There we go, and out. So there we go, we've got a nice little greeting there. So I like to have this coming across the stems or to one side. So it could come over here, just on the end one, or it could go on the centre one like so, covering up some of the stems, or we could have that down the bottom. I don't like it too symmetrical, so I think I'm actually going to put that there, and then you can see the two colours of this one here. So I'm going to find some dimensionals, which I should have on the table. Here we go. I need the little diddy ones today. For that, the small ones. I'm going to pop a couple of those on there. And one of those. That end. Get those out of the way. And tap that there. And then pop this over this corner. Just there, like so. And of course we have gems. They were out on the table. Purple ones there. There's my clear ones. These are the clears. I do like little tiny delicate ones here. Now, before I put these on, the other product I was going to show you was I miss, who else is with me on missing Stampin' Up pearls? Because I used to love the pearls. They were really, really nice and just match the right things, and they were great for centres of flowers. Now, what I had people doing today was using the enamel dots, the pearlized. I'm just checking all the three. So these are the pearlized enamel dots. Okay, I used to use, before as a Stampin' Up demo, there are other products around, and I did have something in a smaller bottle, felt quite similar to these, so I knew how to use them. And the red are great for berries at Christmas time. This is the black, the red, and the white. Now the white I do tend to use a lot of. So I'm going to just show you, instead of using the sparkly gems, I'm going to show you how we did this on some flowers today. So hopefully you can see it. I'm close enough in there for you. These are, it's just a liquid. It is like a liquid pearl. So as I'm using this to the side, let me just bring you in a little bit closer. Okay, and it's using it just to squeeze the bottle, and we're going to just touch it down, squeeze it out, and then just bring it up like a little icicle. If you were icing a cake, you're just going to lift it up like so. So if I bring it up to the camera, you'll be able to see how that it's 3D, and it will sit there. But you do need to be careful that you don't knock it out of the way, and just wipe it off while it is actually wet and drying. Okay, so just make as big or small as you want. Just squeeze that out and wipe it. Just let it wipe away. Okay, so I have 3 little pearls there now, 3 3D pearls. Okay, and I'm just going to set that aside, and that will be my little note card. Okay, so I'll put that on top of my bin over there. So that's that one. I'm going to put the lid back on, and then I have another idea that we did. We had, what's those ones? We've got the big coloured ones that I've just put the doodah. My words have gone. Sponge dauber, but large pieces we put the sponge dauber over. Okay, so we had those put to one side somewhere. Underneath here on the piece of scrap paper. I did hide them. Okay, so we've got varying degrees of colours here, and it is good to get those varieties. But it's also, we don't have to use all of them, but it's like nature. Nature's not perfect. Variegated greenery is lovely. Okay, now because this has got a little bit of an edge to it, I am thinking I would like to have a colour behind that. So let's try it with some greenery behind that. Let's try it with a piece of mossy meadow behind. I might not do this, but I'm just looking to see what it's going to look like. So if I had a piece of green behind there, and do I actually need that too much? And we're going to have the greenery on here, varying degrees of greenery. I'm just wondering if that's going to just break this white, because the white is bleeding into the white. I think I might just be tempted to do that. So I'm going to take that down just a tad and just cut that. So we had 3.5, so I'm going to come down 3 1/8 this way. Get rid of that. And of course I can't do 5 on there, can I? Because it's 5, I'm just going to come down 4 7/8. Now, because I've got a layer and I'm going to put this one on top of it, I'm just going to line them up and make sure they work first, which they will. But you know me, I've got a big layer there and it's going to need a little bit of gutting. So this is where our punches come in handy. Just to remind you how I gut, I come in from the edge. As long as the edge borders are all clear, I punch out 2 of those pieces. Okay, so they can go into my little box. And then I'm going to turn it around and do the same the other end. So I'm going to make sure I've got all the images in there and the borders are clear. Punch that again and we have 4 more leaves. Okay, so that can go away. And now this layer can come down onto my card. So I do 1 layer at a time. So I'm going to come down there, around the edges. Just find a couple of places in the middle there just to dot it. So we have that one there. It's easier to see the little white border as well this way. Okay, press that down firmly. And then this piece, decide which way you'd like to have it. I kind of like the darker to the left. And go around the edges the same. And that's going to come down there. Just nice little clear border. Now you can see underneath there, no one is to know that we've taken some leaves out of there. So gutting is good. Okay, so that's looking good there. Now these ones here, I'm going to use a couple of pieces. So I don't need all of them. But because there's a natural kind of arc in here, I'm going to have one going that way. And then one coming the other way. Now do we want a darker, like so, just to make it a little bit of a nest in the middle there. I think those ones would look nice. Okay, pop those back. I'll stick this one down. These are going to go flat. There's not really any way to put these 3D. Just dot on those leaves. And that one. Again, I mean, kind of in the middle of the card. Tap that down. And then this one. Just dot on some of those leaves. Don't need to do all of them. So in here we could just overlap those if we wanted. Just want to kind of continue that piece coming down. Now, when I did this on my project today, we had the flower shop words. I'm just going to find those here. Flower market. So we used the flower market on it because it was a 3D project. Flower market really fitted nicely. But so for this one, I want to have something small again out of one of those 2 sets. So it's a case of which one shall I go for. I like it to sit in the middle of the flowers again. So I think I'm going to keep to the Hello Friend. Do another piece of this. But we will make a little box around it this time. So if I ink that up with my... I'm going to clean that off on the chamois. This is a stained chamois. Just to clean that off. And I'm actually going to go with the green today. Mossy Meadow. And that can come up into the corner because I'm going to make a box. There we go, beautiful. So if I take that mini trimmer again, over here, and then cut a nice and close to that, keeping the letters straight so that you know you have a plumb line, and that's going to be straight, and then just continue round fairly close to the letters. Keeping those straight, making sure that you don't chop off the tails off the bottom letters until they get out of the way, like so. And then the last straight edge is here, again close to the letters. Okay, I'll go in the bin. There we go. So this one I'm going to take the ink pad again and just sponge around the edge of that. This one here, Mossy Meadow. So I don't do it over my work because when you're fluffing like this, you can actually just get some particles just drop off here, just some splashes of ink. So I'm just going to bring that on there like so, and just using it as a right angle to put a little fluff of ink on there. Camera's up nice and close, so hopefully you can see this good. Okay, it's just taking some of that in there. You can lean it over a little bit further just to soften those edges. Okay, there we go. Totally changes the look of having a boring white piece of card. Okay, so that's going to go onto foam pads, which were I've got some large ones there. Just going to pop one there and one next door. And take those backs off. And these are going to go in the middle. So this is going to come in the middle here, and it's looking quite plain at the moment, but guess what? We're going to have some of those lovely flowers. Okay, so this is a different piece of greenery, totally. We've used a punch with it to make it quicker, and I'm going to use some more of those flowers. Now this is my tray that we had earlier with all the little pieces in, so I can use just random pieces. I can use whatever I fancy. So I'm going to get a few of each size, different sizes even. There's ones, some orange in that design. Yeah, I used 2 different sizes on there, so these ones work fine, and another pink one. That one there, so 2, 2 and 2. There we go. So these just need to be shaped in my hand. Okay, so I'm just going to use that. Oh, thanks, Sherry. I just curl these just with my knuckle in the palm of my hand there, and I will dot these round over the images here. Okay, it's just nice to use some dies that you wouldn't normally. Well, how else would you use those dies? So it's just finding some extra uses, so you actually make use of all of the pieces. The sampler board was a great way to showcase lots of different pieces of techniques that you can use all from one stamp set, which was really good. Had lots of fun. So flowers are always good. You don't want to have 2 blues together, so let me swap those over. Flowers are always good, and they're for the sort of like greetings like this, you've always got a use for them. So I like to have the leaves breaking that square as well, so that one can sit in there. I'm ready to stick these down, so I'll just pop some Tombow in the centre. Okay, and that's going to sit in that little gap there. And again, the Tombow lid, normally I'd have it attached to the Tombow, but I've only got one on the table today. Whoops, didn't leave it long enough. There we go. That's that one. And then just fill in some little gaps really. So you could put that one to the side there maybe. So, oh, good job that it didn't come out. It's a very simple idea, and I like to use as many pieces as I can from the set just to show its versatility. You can also use the case, the scissor, the paper snip cover. That's quite easy to pick up and grab hold of as well. Okay, and of course I love my Tombow, so that can, there's a gap there, or we can put it back down there, say maybe, just randomly. And I'm going to use the same pearls for this one as well. The pearls are really fabulous. They come in a trio. I did look it up today. They're still in the available online. I think they went to the online exclusives. I can't be 100% sure, but they're still available anyway. We looked it up. And then one slightly larger. So I did one pass through the big shop, the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with these. So they all literally got cut at the same time. So it's not an onerous task to die cut them all. And there's our little card. Okay, so nice and quick. A nice little greeting, fluffed around the edge, just gutted some middles out. So when you gut the middles, that would take the stems out to make these ones. Okay, and you've got some of the designer series paper and just a couple of little cards there that would look really good. So I'm going to put some of this in the middle. Of course, you can use any of the other colours as well. White just seems to be, I find, the most versatile one. So without my glasses, I'm just going to come and squeeze some more out of there. So it's just squeezing a little peak there. It's a bit like putting icing on a cake, on biscuits. So you're just going to squeeze it out and lift it off. Squeeze it out and lift it off. So this is like you'd put red berries onto something using the red for the Christmas season, festive season. Okay, and you can vary the sizes as well. Just a steady hand will get you used to doing the same quantity on each. Okay, so that's the second little card. So they were two of the designs I used with the those pieces of the dies where they sometimes get overlooked. Now, I wanted to find another die set that I had on the table. Just a sec. You know what? I think I've forgotten to put that one away as well. Just 2 ticks. I know I was counting them out. So the Wanted to Say die set, we had that one out again today for the same sort of reason. We didn't actually use it today, but just to share how the dies inside here. You have a little piece of greenery here, and I think I will cut those out. If I bring the camera back out again, I'm going to cut these out and just do another little card with those third ones there. So we have these lovely, fantastic sentiments. Feel good, feel better soon, which is great for get well cards. We've got the happy birthday, we've got celebrate, we used that one today, we've got a presents, we've got a little string of stars, a little group of hearts, a flower head, and then this one, you're too kind. But we've also got a little bow up there and a piece of greenery. Now that piece of greenery can also be stems. I take a little tiny piece here and we can just bring that onto the mat. Move that out of the way for you. So if I bring the stem down, we're just going to cut a few of these. In fact, if I do it that way, I think I'll get all 3 along there. There we go, there's one. Just so you can see the ones that tend to get overlooked and how you could use them. So this will be 3 different cards tonight. So, and they're not taking loads and loads of time. There's my spatula to get that one off. Do a second and third. We tend to get a bit stuck in a way is when we have the first have a stamp set, a die set, and we use our favourite ones. We don't tend to always explore all the other options of the extra bits that are in the set. Okay, like I said, I find by doing a sampler, I'm trying to use everything in there in some way or other, and that kind of made me use more pieces than I would have done. So I thought that would be a good one to share with you today. So that's 3 little stems. I can go in there. This one off. So that's 3 stems, and then I have the flowers. So I have these little pieces here, and I want to use the hearts. I want to show you the hearts as well because we use those today. So again, if I've got a piece of scrap here, this one would probably cut off one of those in the corner. Okay, Fill the little gaps up. There it is. That one off there. It's going to take out the middle. Automatically it takes that piece out. I wanted the other 3 colours as well, but that's probably not, it's not wide enough. Let me just go a little bit bigger. Cut the length off that. Yes, I haven't got pelt pink out, so we might have to just do 3 of this. Now we know we stagger our plates on here. We don't want to stagger them too much. It'll fall off the end and then it'll make the plates curl. That one. I might get one in that corner, just on the edge there. Put that one back on there before I lose it. Got 2 of that one. And then that can go. Now the little hearts is a case of I want a heart to put in the middle of those, so I'm tempted to cut some of each. It cuts 3 in one go, so if I cut 3 little hearts in blue and 3 little hearts in coral, put them there. Do the same here, 3 little hearts in there. I didn't do this on today's project, but it's the same sort of principle, so I thought it was a good one to share. We were using it today, so it reminded me. So 3 little hearts can go back in there. There are stars there as well, so you can use a little star, but what I wanted to do was for the hearts. Okay, move you out of the way. So I'm finished with the die set. Just showing, we tend to use the sentiments for that all the time, and we forget the other elements, the other things that we can do with it. So I've got a piece of paper ready. I hadn't got some paper, so I think what I'm going to do is use let's see if this is going to sit on here nicely, because I've got the circles here. These circles are so popular. I've just sold 2 more sets today. This is the Circles 3D embossing folder, and it's just such fabulous value. It is quite highly raised, so I'm not sure if these are going to sit on here nicely, but I'm going to just try it and see. So we've got background texture. Now I would normally go for the exposed brick for this one because it's smoother and it's just sits nicely. So I would do those. I would do 3 little flowers. One different one in the center on the end, and then I would put one of the little hearts in the center of the opposite colors. So like I say, I've not got my glasses, so we'll see if I can just try and snip that one off there. They are joined together on this occasion, but you can bring them off and just make sure that you've got take that off the edge there, just separate them, and then put that one as a whole heart, and then the same for a Calypso coral one. Probably better keeping it this side of the scissors. Take that one off there, and then you could go back to, you need another blue one, so I'm just going to round those edges off, save me cutting another set. It doesn't matter if it's slightly larger. I'm not going to start having 2 pairs of glasses in the room, but maybe that might be a good idea. I took them off while I was eating my dinner and now left them in the other room. So there's the same sort of thing. We've got 3 little flowers. We'll have a heart in the center of each of those. Those ones can be used for something else. Okay, and then we've got a sentiment. So I could use, I'm going to use the long skinny one on this one. So I'm going to get those down onto the paper now. I think I will use these etched, the deep circles. some Tombow on there, dot that down. Oh, comments coming up. Oh, hi Linda. Do you suppose we could use the blends to colour the white beads? Absolutely. The blends, Stampin' Blends will cover all sorts. I'm going to just start this one off in the middle. I should have stuck that layer down, shouldn't I, first? So this one's going to come literally through the middle of our circles. It's always easier to stick the centre one first and then work either side, because otherwise you might end up uneven. Okay, so if I glue this one, yes, I colour all sorts. When we had the pearls, I coloured pearls. I've coloured the clear rhinestone jewels. If you've got a colour of rhinestone that you don't like, say a multiple pack or something, and there's something you not too keen on, no matter what the texture, just go gently with it. But you can use your Stampin' Blends, but just go gently. You don't want to fuzz the end of the brush. Went to use some today, and sadly the girls couldn't use my my grey granite brushes, the Stampin' Blends, because they've been mushed. The tips have all gone, they're all dried out, they were not good, so they couldn't use them. So they're on my order list. So I'm just pressing this down. There's that little squitty bit at the middle. Okay, now if you want to with these, we could, I'm going to get this down, it's jumping around. I'll just stick this. So put that on there. I have die cut these, or cut these down, sorry, to be the whole size of the front of the card. So there's no other colours on here. There we go. So I think I am going to, I like a little bit of dimension, so I'm going to put a dimensional in the big one in the middle of these. So oops, it's going to come over the top like so. I'm using a large one because they are we're going to cover that centerpiece up, and because it's a heavily raised area, I think it's going to be better for the dies. It's got more grip. So this is on the back of that one. And again, I just put the stem to end in the middle of the little nick, so to speak. And then one on the back of this one. Do turn it over. There we go. Put that one in the middle there. I think I've got them fairly straight. Don't judge me. Without glasses. Oops. So I'm going to put the opposite colours, the little hearts in the middle, in the opposite colours. You know me and my tweezers, I hold them in the tweezers and apply the adhesive. Okay. There we go. Definitely making the most of my paper. Absolutely. I'm a thrifty crafter. I'm not mean crafter, I'm just a thrifty crafter. I don't like throwing things away and making, you know, landfill really. So that's those. I'm going to just use this Best Friend Ever quickly, just so you can see this one in operation. It's a long, skinny sentiment. We all have somebody we could give a Best Friend Ever to, haven't we? Now, I brought my white scraps over. She says, over there. There we go. Oh, look at that. Yes, that will fit. So, Mossy Meadow, because we've got the greenery. I'm going to just tap that through the middle. I don't think this is terribly straight, so I'm going to pop this in the centre. There we go, look at that, lovely and straight, but it's a bit of a wedge. So I'm just going to need to trim that down. Trimmer, where did I put you? Come on, come out, wherever you are. So normally what I would do here is to grab a post-it note, but if you've got enough of a grip that you can actually hold that, I've got this straight and parallel down there, and this edge at the top is on the trimmer, and this piece is hanging over the edge. So I'm just going to hold that very carefully and get rid of the wedge, and then that should be looking better. That looks straighter. So I'm going to take it off, leaving a little tiny gap each end. If I go to the end of that little notch, I normally find a landmark, something I can eyeball to. And then the same this end, just to the end of that little bit there. Take those away to the bin. And then these two, I'm just going to flag the ends like this. Snip into the middle, slip into the ends. Hopefully you can see my fingers on that. There and there. Like so. Oh, didn't quite meet the middle. See, I do need my glasses. Into the centre. And this one in. And in that way. See how well they're looking. There we go, I think that's okay. I've got all these little bits everywhere now. Look, they can go on the floor. And then I will put that across all three stems. So it'll just come through there like so. I think we don't want to cover up the leaves too much. So I'm going to put that onto some dimensionals and we're done. 3 little cards today. Dimensionals. Some little 3 ones here. We want to make sure it holds itself, so we don't want to have gaps in here. So I will put 4 on here, I think. It's quite long and they're quite small. There we go, and the last one, take the backs off, pick that up. Okay, and then this one, I'm just going to put that across the bottom of the stems, but again in the centre of the card, so you can see the stems hanging out the bottom, and I think that's good there. Okay, now we didn't put any bling on this one. We could do if we wanted. We can put some random bling on, or I think that's quite nice as it is. I don't know where I'd stick the bling. Let's see what we've got in the gems, the skinny gems. I know I'm running out of gems. I need some more on my next order. I thought I had more packets than I have. So these, I think we could just stick some random ones on there, just three randoms and one at the top, like so, just to give a little bit of sparkle. So let's just bring all of those cards back, shall we? So you can see all 3 of them, like so. I'll take the mat away now. So they're all using kind of dies that you might overlook from other stamp sets. Okay, so get those out of the way so you can see those there. A bit of a shadow on there, so just move that over slightly. Hang that over the edge so you can pin him down. There we go. It's not going to stay, is it? Stick that under the edge. There we go. So you've got 3 designs there. Was travelling, you missed me. Rhonda, don't worry. I was travelling last week. I was up in Scotland, so I was 9 hours away from home. So that's good. So yeah, we had a nice, relaxed, chilled week, especially after my little stay, my little health matter. So yeah, that was nice to relax and chill out. So it's good. They are happy little cards. Yes, thanks, Marilyn. They're cute, aren't they? The best friend stamp. Oops, a daisy. The best friend stamp, best friend ever, is from Country Flowers. So that was a bundle with the dies. Okay, it's got best.friend.ever. I actually used it on a panel today, and I'd snipped the dots out as well. So I just got the best friend ever in 3 different places. So that was quite nice to use. But these flowers as well, over all these pieces, they're common. That's what we do all the time. But the little dies in there, I just find that there's little pieces. I haven't got time to show you this one. We've gone nearly the hour. This little one here, I do want to show you one made up, because I've got a couple of those. And we just coloured these with the blends. So this is this little flower here. Look at that cheeky little flower. Isn't he just so cute? The size of the cards, Lisa, they are the Stampin' Up note cards and envelopes. So they come in a pack of 20. They're pre-scored. And the envelopes are the lovely silky smooth white, brilliant packs, because they're air packed, you know, vacuum packed, and they don't take up much space. But you've got 20 note cards and 20 envelopes in there, and I always have a good stash of those. So this is this little flower here. I've coloured the stems with this is Memento ink, and I've coloured them with the Old Olive dark and the light blends, and then the Petal Park light and dark blends. Okay, so just so cute. And there's a die for them, so I haven't, those little flowers, I haven't fussy cut those. I did have a day off fussy cutting today. So yeah, there's a little die. It's a funny shape, but that actually cuts those dies out, so they were easy just to churn out. I was the die cutting queen for everybody today. So that's another little one, and they make nice little cards. So if I bring my little panels on, I'm going to try and bring to the camera. I'm going to line you up. So let me just give you that image. Oh, whoops daisy. Let me just take you back to me. And then I'm going to line the camera up this side and try and get it just focusing on a couple of images. So if I just focus in on that one and stick you across. So this would, oh, there we go. So this is one of the ones that I've just done onto the card. So that's that one. And then you can come back to me. And then I don't want to give the game away for those people who haven't done them. So then this one here is the panel. There, I'm going to bring you across. So this one here is the panel that I've done the same as what I've done today on. Okay, so I just wanted to leave those ones like so. So there we go. So that's me just coming back to you. Thanks for joining me tonight. It's been a lovely day. So we've been using those sets for these two, and just put them onto note cards today for you, so that you can see some different cards made with those same dies. And you often just overlook things that you've got in your sets. So thanks, Linda. I'm glad you enjoyed today as well. They are so cute. I do love them. And I always have a large supply of note cards and envelopes in stock, because they're so versatile and they're just so easy to just run out some more cards. So it's lovely. So thanks for joining me. We're just on the top of the hour now. So I will say cheerio, and I will see you again on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. So Wednesdays are an hour later than the Sundays. Okay, so if you're watching from abroad, whatever time you logged in today, you want another, this time now as we're logging off, that's the time I'll be live on Sunday. Okay.